Dear 2020, what a crazy year it has been for you. You have brought me so many difficult challenges to overcome, cancelled so many of my original plans, but in the end, I have made it through. This is the journey of how I was able to journal every single night for all of 2020. So coming off of a fairly poor 2019 performance, during my first quarter at UCLA, I didn't do too hot. And yeah, the best I can summarize it is I was not a happy camper at all. And one day while on Instagram, just mindlessly scrolling, I came across with an ad. But this ad wasn't any ordinary ad. And I've never seen this ad before until then. And this app is about Reflectly. This app is known as the world's first intelligent journal. So with this app, not only you can track your mood and how you do every single day as you progress, but it also sends you positivity notifications every now and then, just as a little extra way to brighten up your day. Now, I am not sponsored by Reflectly at all. The only reason I'm talking about it is because that's how, for the past year, I've been doing my journals. And yeah, that is actually how my journaling experience started. But with turning the calendar to a new year, I figure, why not? Let's try out journaling. And if it works, we'll stick through it. If not, it's okay. We can always delete the app and scrap the idea. So actually, on January 1st, I entered my first ever journal. Happy New Year's, new memories. And yeah, then for every single day, I've had a journal entry. And after 365 days, finally, we got through the calendar and we're here, December 31st, 2020. Well, thanks to Reflectly on this app, I'm able to track in my mood on how I've been doing overall for the past year. So in December, as you can see, I have 2 negative days and 25 positive days. Overall, my mood's been average, mainly because in quarantine, oh my god, every single day is pretty much the same and nothing changes whatsoever. But during each and every day, certainly there's times where I'm just at the top of the world and other times where I'm not. But I would say overall, my moods have been pretty average since the start of quarantine. But let's rewind the clock a little bit and go into January 1st. Looks like for the most part I've been doing well, but I do have some negative days like January 26th, oh boy, with a 1.8 rating. I need to go back and check what I did that day. January 26th. Oh, it's the day that Kobe died. But yeah, for the month of January, I think I kind of took my journaling a little bit too seriously because I basically didn't journal. I wrote an essay. And I'm guessing this is just everything that happened for the day and what I recall from it. You guys can read it if you're interested, but it's basically a diary. But yeah, I've also had some highest of the highs like January 11th. It's my first ever basketball game that I went to and my first ever college party that I went to. Okay, that explains why it's a 9.9 rating. But man, why do you have to watch the vlog when you can just read a paragraph of text right here and just know everything that happened in that vlog a little bit before and after too. And then finally, in March, oh boy, March 13th. Oh, that is not fun at all. It just crashed as hard as basically the stock market did then. One journal entry with a 0.0 rating. We have to read that, of course.
The end. It's over. This is by far the worst day of 2020.
And then we just have a huge diary entry about what happened on that day. I also moved out straight away from college on that day because it was a Friday, I believe. I already finished all of my in-person work. They already moved all of our finals online already. So there really wasn't a point for me to stay in the dorms any longer because the quarter was pretty much over and they just announced the spring quarter was cancelled. That night, I basically packed up my bags, cleaned up everything, and left. Definitely my parents were not happy about it, having to pick me up all the way from San Diego to LA. But it is pretty interesting to look back and see what I wrote down because I predicted back then that this thing will end in June, in which I get to go back to LA and do summer classes. Clearly not the case. But don't worry, because after that it rebounded completely. Couple lowlights there, couple average days. Not until May 27th, where I gave an 8.1 rating to a journal. That's interesting. We have to check that out. Why was this an 8.1 rating? I guess it was a good day, but it's not memorable. Ooh, 9.5 June 22nd. VidCon at home. Yeah, okay, I remember that. That is pretty fun actually, where I got to go on my little YouTube convention and take a break from online summer school. So, That's something right there. But there's also a low light in June. Yeah, that was my second 0.0 rating of 2020, where I lost one of my cats. Moving on to July, things definitely got better. There was for sure an upward trend on how things are. Why in the middle of July did we just suddenly have an amazing night? Social nights. Was this night just because I had a bunch of social interactions and I basically spent the day back to back to back talking to a lot of friends? Judging by this journal, I think so. I think by then my journaling passions kind of like tapered off a bit, so there wasn't much that I wrote for a lot of them. After that, my days kind of just all blended into one. That was a little good reflection on the past. I'm kind of glad that I'm able to do it, see how far I came from 2020. So now that 2020 is over, I have now had exactly 1 year of journaling experience. And here are now some of my tips in starting your own journal. Number 1 is to definitely build a habit out of journaling. This whole thing was definitely not accomplished in one night. For the first few months about journaling, I legitimately had to create a routine in which I journaled every single night before I went to bed. So you should do something similar as well. Before you sleep, instead of just mindlessly scrolling through social media, just journal out your day so you can kind of forget about it. And in my opinion, you're also able to sleep a lot smoother. Other people also journal the first thing they wake up. I've also tried that during this year, but in my opinion, it's a lot more troublesome just because when you wake up, I don't really want to write so much. But overall, find a routine that works for you and try to stick to it. Second tip, if you mess up, keep going. As you can probably tell from my journals, there are some days in 2020 where I just absolutely did not feel like writing a journal for it. So in that case, what I did is I just got something down on paper. It doesn't have to be my whole spiel about like my entire day on what I did, and instead it can just be what's on your mind. Get it out of your mind onto something. For those days that you do want to remember a lot, certainly you can go into greater detail about it, and hopefully when you do look back on it whenever you're feeling down, it can provide you with a sense of appreciation and a feeling that yes, in the end, things will be alright. Oh, and third and final tip that's a little bit more general to like a lot of things in life, but if you want to start journaling and it's not January 1st, start now anyways. Over the past few years, I kind of learned something, and that's that New Year's resolutions, sometimes for the most part, are absolute scams. If you truly want to get things done, don't wait until January 1st, just start now. You'll be very glad that you started now and didn't dwell on the situation for so long. But yeah, if you're watching this video and it's not New Year's Day anymore, that's okay. You can start journaling whenever and how often you feel like it, and see where that whole process takes you. For a whole year. Obviously, there are some changes that I do want to make to my process of journaling. And for starters, that comes with the Reflectly app. In my opinion, the Reflectly app is definitely a good idea in order to start journaling. And it's great because it also sends you notifications to tell you, hey, you should journal today. But after doing this for a whole year and it's pretty much ingrained into my daily routine already, I don't think I'll be using Reflectly for another year. It's because 1, it's too expensive as a daily journal app in my opinion. I don't really need to be spending $30 a year in order to write down my journal entries. 2, in my opinion, the app is pretty hard to navigate. Through making this video, in order to find my journal entries, I had to scroll up all the way through my ridiculous 365-day timeline just to find that one specific story. And 3, overall, it's just a weird feeling journaling on an app, I think. For 2021, something I kind of want to do is to eliminate screen time in my nightly routine. So for 2021, rather than journaling on Reflectly, I have a package right here that I'm actually going to be opening up. And yeah, for 2021, I'm actually going to be journaling with this thing right here. But yeah, right here what I have is a journal that will last me for way more than a year. And with this, each page is numbered with a date. And I'm given a finite amount of space to write down my thoughts. And overall, have something physical that I can hold on to and have it as a keepsake. If I do journals digitally, there's a chance that I might forget my account password or something happens to Reflectly and all of my entries get deleted. So for 2021, this is my new way of of writing down journals. Overall, it should be an exciting year, and I'm really excited to see where this whole journey brings us. But yeah, that's my journey about journaling for the past 365 days, and more to come. And other than that, I want to wish you guys a waddle-tastic year of 2021. May your best wishes come true with a lot of hard work and perseverance, and we'll see you in another video. Peace.